Good morning. At 4:44 this morning, today is Sunday, September 21st, and at 4:44 this morning, I was sitting down at the water, and I was just sitting because I found myself not being able to sleep. I've found myself not being able to be comfortable in my own home. I came home yesterday from dog training, and my daughter informed me that she was going to a party and probably wouldn't be coming home, which left me in a house with three snakes. And I guess I need to get on here and I need to tell this story before she gets a chance to do her story time. Matthew chapter 23 verse 33. Says, "Oh, you brood of vipers, how do you expect to escape your sentence to hell?" Hold on. "Ye serpents, you brood of vipers, how are you to escape being sentenced to hell?" And I have found myself living in a den of vipers. So on Thursday this week, in not one of my very proudest moments, I was arrested. And I've only been arrested one other time in my entire adulthood, and it was for something that was so stupid. The last time I got arrested was literally because I was in my early 20s and I moved to North Carolina, which is a click it or ticket state, and I came from a Commonwealth and decided that the sheriff's department could not make me wear my seatbelt, so I got 3 seatbelt tickets consecutively and never paid my fines. So I got arrested for driving on a revoked license 3 years after I moved to North Carolina. So on Thursday this week, at 42 years old, I was arrested for slapping my son for being disrespectful. The puppies. We've got 3 German Shepherd puppies. Well, 4 living in our house, but 3 of them I take responsibility for. And they were all losing their shit because Thursday was my day off and I needed to get some cleaning done in the house. And I was up early. I'm up early most days. But the man who I call my partner, who I really try to see the best in, wasn't home, and I can't sleep when he's not there. Like, my intuition literally pings all night long when he's not in the bed with me, and I never know what's going to happen, and I end up not being able to sleep. It's getting easier. It's getting easier because, especially now, but Anyway, I was up early. The puppies got up early. They needed to go out. They needed their kennel pads changed. They needed their breakfast. And so I was just up early. Like, it started at like 5 in the morning. Taking them out potty. Getting their crate pads swapped out and washed. I needed to vacuum and shampoo the carpet in the living room. I was actually in the process of doing a whole house cleaning. At 6 o'clock in the morning, my son's girlfriend, I had just put them back in their kennels, and I was sitting in the living room on the sofa, and I was enjoying my coffee. I had just walked over to the gas station and got a cup of coffee. She come out of the bedroom. Puppies were all in their living room in their crates, looking at me on the couch, freaking out because they wanted to come out of their crates because they're puppies. And she come out of their bedroom, and she was getting ready to start yelling and screaming, and I just looked at her and I was like, you need to stop. These are just babies. And she turned around and went back in their bedroom, and then my son came out. Why are you sitting in front of the kennels with their curtains open? Because they have blankets over the front of their kennels so that they can't see out into the living room. Why do I want to put their curtains over the front of their cages? They've got to learn how to settle. They've got to learn how to become independent dogs. So that was 6 in the morning. The whole time he's in the bedroom yelling and screaming and carrying on like a fucking grown man in a house that he doesn't even pay bills for. And I just, let it roll off my back like a duck in water. Fast forward to about 7:30. I was out back and I was hanging the first load of laundry up on the wash line of their kennel pads. And I had actually taken the blankets that were on top of their crates that were being used as curtains. I had taken their blankets off and put them in the crates. So that way they'd have something soft to lay on where the kennel pads were being washed. And Princess, being in the kennel closest to the front door, was sounding off. She was upset. They'd just come back in from outside. Like, they were in and out all morning. In their crate, out of their crate. In their crate, out of their crate. If I can't keep an eye on you, you're going to be in your crate. Anyway, full disclosure, I was sitting on the... Oh, no, not yet. Hold on. So I was outside, and I was hanging up their pee pads after I had washed them. She was freaking out. It was so loud. I mean, she was so loud I could hear her out back. Fussing and fussing and fussing. I heard bang, bang, bang. So loud. The puppies instantly got quiet. I never heard anybody open their mouth, nothing. I finished hanging up the laundry. I came back in. I sat down. I started smoking my bowl. 7:30 in the morning on my day off. Of course, yeah, I'm gonna smoke some fucking weed with my coffee. And I was sitting on the couch and I was talking to the puppies, and I said, nothing's out of place in the living room, guys. What just happened? What got slammed? It was so loud that it sounded like somebody had taken a sledgehammer to the walls inside of my house. Anyway, I'm, asking the puppies all these questions because, you know, they're going to answer me. And my son come out of the bedroom and he was like, it was me. I picked up Princess's crate and I slammed it against the wall. I said, what the fuck? Why did you do that with the puppy in her kennel? Well, then the girlfriend. This girl attacked my daughter back in January. I don't even remember what the hell the fight was for, but when Sai gets on here and does her story time, I'm sure that she'll tag me at some point and you know, you'll get the whole story because I don't remember exactly what it was, but there was a argument which turned into a physical fight back in January, and this girl and when Adam tried to get involved to try and break it up, she flat out said, you need to shut your mouth, you're nothing but a pedophile and a crackhead. Well, he has a history of doing some really fucked up shit when he's on drugs. Like really fucked up shit. And I've never turned a blind eye to it. Since I knew about it, I've never turned a blind eye to it. However, I definitely am stuck. Well, I'm not stuck, but there's a trauma bond there that, and my rent's cheap, so I never left. He was told to leave by CPS when this shit happened, and maybe not necessarily a pedophile, but really damn close. So this is his mother's house, and his mom is an enabler, and she definitely has turned a blind eye to it. And when I told her what happened, she didn't believe me. She didn't believe the police report that was made. She didn't want to kick her son out because she didn't want him to be homeless on the streets. So we carry on with our daily life. I have a roof over my head for $400 a month. And I live in a tourist area at the Outer Banks. And you cannot find a place to rent here for under $1,500. And if you've got dogs, you're going to be paying close to $2,500 to $3,000 a month. So $400 a month, I'm keeping my mouth shut and doing what I need to do to keep a roof over my head. Anyway, after that incident happened, she was told to leave. My son, in all of his brilliant wisdom at 17 years old, decided that he was going to follow her and then get on social media and tell everybody that I kicked him out of my house. He was not told to leave. He was not told to leave at all. In fact, we were very explicit in saying that he could stay, but she had to go. And this was after he picked up his 90-pound sister and pile-drived her, landed on her neck, could have broke her fucking neck, and then told me flat out that if she had died, he wouldn't have gave a shit. But he was never kicked out. I can't legally kick him out. The system's rigged. The system's rigged. I never thought that I would ever live in a world where a shitty, arrogant, disrespectful little cunt of a fucking child would have the upper hand over a parent, a homemaker. But anyway, he made it very clear that his nuts had dropped and that he was leaving. or that he didn't need his mommy, I should say, because he managed to save up $600 in a very short amount of time and got bus tickets to Oklahoma City and went to go stay with his dad. He was there for a month before they got kicked out again. Same shit. She got kicked out of Dad's house because she was being a fucking disrespectful twat to his mother. Regardless of what a shitty person my mother-in-law is, well, my ex-mother-in-law, regardless of what a shitty person she is, she's 75 years old. She deserves just as much respect as the next person. There's no reason that anybody should get pushed over the edge to react with violence. So he came home under Mom's grace with the explicit instructions that she was not allowed on my property. She was not to come to our house. She violated every single trust that ever could be given. She violated everything. And Adam especially didn't want her to come back, and this is his house, and I had to respect that. And at the time of him wanting to come back, I had just decided not to go out to Virginia, and I was staying here. So anyway, they came home. He snuck her in the house for like 2 months. Then she went off to a mental health facility in Florida and came back. And I was like, look, I'm going to extend forgiveness to this kid. I'm going to try to smooth it over with Adam and she can stay. But now fast forward to Thursday. And because... okay, well, anyway, he slammed the puppy's crate on the ground. She came flying out of the bedroom and started treating me like I was a second-class citizen. You live in my house. You do not pay me rent. You, took it upon yourself to clean my house. I didn't ask you to do that. You took it upon yourself to feed my dogs. I didn't ask you to do that. You guys took those responsibilities on yourselves. Who the fuck puts the curtains in the kennels? Where the fuck is Princess's kennel blanket or kennel curtain? Where the blah 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 blah? You stupid fat bitch. Oh. At the beginning of all of this, when she started yelling and screaming, I got up. Now, I have a very interesting past, and I've got a very short fuse. Everybody that lives with me is lucky I don't drink anymore. But, yep, I got up and I flew at her and I raised my fist up and I started to put it to her face. And I looked at her and I was like, you're not worth my fucking jail time. But I should have put your head through the wall. My son got in between me and her. He started spewing all kinds of evil, hateful things to me. Now, mind you, I'm full of love, but that doesn't negate the fact that I'm still human. And I've had a couple of days to think about all of this. No matter what, I'm still human. But what kind of world do we live in that a mother slaps her son for being disrespectful and you can get away with calling the police and having her arrested? So she's putting all this stuff out on social media, being ugly. She is only telling half-truths because her delusional little ass thinks that she's right.
Oh no, I'm devastated.
I got charged with misdemeanor domestic violence and misdemeanor simple assault. Because I didn't hit her, because I tried to push her out my front door and get her out of my house, because I slapped my son, who is almost 6 foot tall, and I'm like barely 5 foot, in my face, who has a history of violence against the women in the family. It was just 2 months ago that he punched his sister in the face just for speaking her mind. I was gonna get my licks in before he got me. It doesn't matter how much love and light I have for people, I'm still human. And I don't hate this girl. I still think that she's a child and she makes mistakes. But she needs to get back on her medication. The moral of the story is at 4:44 this morning, I wanted to drive my car off into the sound. Friday afternoon, I told the social worker who's in charge of the case, because I didn't get charged with assault against a minor. I got charged with domestic violence for slapping my almost 18-year-old son. He'll be 18 in 10 weeks. Slapping. I didn't hit him with a closed fist. I slapped him in the fucking mouth. And I went to jail. My daughter left to go to a party last night and I got left alone. Oh, and then on top of all of it, not only did I get arrested, but I was making a phone call while the police were out in their cars, I guess, trying to figure out what they were going to do with me. And I tried to call him to let him know that there was a possibility that I was going to jail because he left the night before, not telling anybody anything. He left on Wednesday night and he was still gone Thursday morning. And when I tried to call him at 8 o'clock in the morning to tell him there was a possibility I was going to jail, that he needed to get his ass home and come and get me, couldn't bother to answer the phone. And then when my daughter called him at almost 11 o'clock in the morning to let him know that I was in jail and that he needed to answer the phone and come bond me out, he was still nowhere to be found. In fact, he didn't even get home until almost 9 o'clock on Friday morning. Oh, you serpents, you brood of vipers. How do you expect to escape hell? This little girl who's in my house, who has until, looks like she's got 7 more days to get the fuck out of my house. Karma will come for you. You will not escape judgment. And while you're on TikTok telling everybody about how I abuse my fucking kids and how I'm complacent in laying with a man who's a pedophile and how I'm all of these things, before you point out the splinter in my eye, you best remove the log from yours. Because everything that she's been saying on social media is being locked away in a little file that I'm going to hand to my lawyer right before we go to court. because I was told to avoid hostile communication with a little fucking bitch that lives in my house. I don't even want to come home. Animal control came to my house. I had to worry about them taking my animals. CPS knocked on my door. I had to pretty much say, you want a safety plan? How about you take my son into foster care so that you can get him away from that little bitch? Oh, I have so much documentation and so much video footage of the horrible, horrible things that she does when I'm not home to my dogs, and yet she wants to bitch and complain. But when animal control came in my house, they saw 7 dogs and 2 cats that were well fed and vetted and clean. But if animal control had showed up before I had a chance to clean those kennels, because those kids left them sitting in piss for 2 days. So, would it have been the same thing? I have video footage of her grabbing one of my puppies by the neck and slamming her onto the floor. There is in no way, shape, or form ever going to be a time that I'm going to tell anybody that I'm innocent in anything. I played a role in every single thing that happened in my life, that continues to happen. Because I am literally the creator of my own reality, and everything that happens to me, I take 100% responsibility for. I'm taking responsibility for this thing staying in my house. But even her own parents don't want her. The whole reason why she's with me is because her dad doesn't want her, because she's toxic. She ruins families. So yeah, I want to be able to get on here and I want to spread love and light and I want to spread all the good things, but I can't right now because I'm sitting in my own darkness. I'm literally in a position where right now, I've been out here in my car since 4 o'clock this morning because I don't want to be in my house, because the man who left me to rot in fucking jail is sleeping in the bed bitching about my pit bull because she wants to cuddle. And God forbid I wake the puppies up, because, you know, is that gonna wake my son up and cause her to fucking go off again? I'm walking on eggshells in my own home. And all Adam could say was he was sleeping. Well, he shouldn't have been gone in the first place. So, if you guys have been wondering where I've been and what I've been doing, I've been contemplating my own disappearance. That's what I've been doing. Why do I have to go to court on Halloween and deal with this shit if I just am gone? My own child wishes to see me dead and has told everybody that I'm a terrible fucking person. Literally slapped him in the mouth for being disrespectful. And he's saying the most awful things about me. And he's putting it on social media. I'm not posting this video to validate anything because I played a role in all of it. I'm posting this on social media to show you guys that I'm still human and I'm still going through human bullshit. All right, bye.